Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is boiling in here today. It's unseasonably warm. Well, I mean it is June, but it is really hot here in the UK, hot for us. We've been up to nearly 30 degrees. We had a massive storm last night, but it's gone hot again today. And of course in this country we don't have aircon and stuff because we don't usually need it. I can't even open my window because I don't like my neighbours to hear me when I'm filming, so so I'm going to keep this relatively short and sweet, but I have got to the point where I'm ready to make my very last two hearts for the Arty Farty Hearty Swap. So that brings me up to, I think, 22 that I've done. And I thought for this last couple I'd like to do a couple of felted ones. So I'm going to do some felting now with you, and then I'm going to stitch into them and add some beads and stuff downstairs where it's a bit cooler. So I'll just show this felting part and the rest will be a surprise for my recipients. Let's crack on. I've got, now what I'm going to use, I thought it was quite interesting, my son Tom, a lot of you all know Tom. One of his medications that he has is delivered chilled. He has to keep it chilled until he's ready to use it, and it comes wrapped in this stuff. It's in a plastic bag, which of course you can reuse the plastic bag, and it's got this stuff inside which is, judging by the smell of it, there might be some sheep's wool in there. Goodness knows, there's probably all sorts. There's probably all sorts of recycled stuff in there, and I'm sure it's compostable and stuff, but it'd be better to reuse it, I thought, if I can. So I thought I'll use it as a base for some felting. I mean, certainly I could scrumple it up and shape it and felt into it, but in this case what I've done is cut a couple of heart shapes out of it. So I thought let's take you to the desk and have a look. So you can see this is the texture of it. It's a bit smoother and more densely matted on one side, and then on this side it's a lot looser, so I'll felt into this side. I just thought it's going to be a really nice way to use this stuff, and Tom will get one of these every month. So yeah, I reckon it could also be cut into rectangles to form like pouches and storage baskets and all kinds of things. The basis for creatures and stuff, to save, you know, using the more expensive felting wool. So let's give it a go and see if it works. Got an array of felting needles there. Felting mat. This is filled with some sort of rice or grains, some sort of grain or something. I've got some of this lovely kind of rainbowy coloured wool tops that I got from the makers. A bag of odds and sods left over from my maker's block box and things, all kinds of colours and that in there. And these were in a bag of bits and bobs that I think it was Fabulous Jacks that sent me this just recently. There's all sorts of kind of curly wools there that I thought might be fun to bring in, and a couple of bits that are already kind of felted, semi-felted like this, which could be used either as a scent or something, or to create some texture and stuff. So that's what I've got to play with. I thought I'll do one, I'm going to do it kind of an abstract, rainbow colours, lots of texture, and I'll add sequins and beads and stuff to it. And the other one I'm going to make it like a little landscape. I think the rainbowy one's going to be the most straightforward, so let's do that first. But I'll just use this wool as it comes. And Tori also did some felted hearts. She did it a different way, and it was really interesting what she did. She worked onto a felt back and she used the wool tops to create shapes and things, and then she stitched beads and things onto it. I'll try and remember to link to that video. Let me jot myself a note. Tori felting, I'm going to write here. Later on I'll find that note and think, why have I written Tori felting there? I will also link to the Arty Farty Hearty Swap playlist, in case you're interested in having a look, catching up, seeing all the incomings and outgoings. And if you're in our Facebook group or Discord community, you'll have seen it all going on in there as well. If you've missed the boat and you've sort of recently joined the community and it's too late to join in because we've only got a couple of weeks now to get our hearts sent off, just hang fire, join the group, start getting to know everybody, and you'll be ready for the next one. We're doing 2 a year now, so I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to felt this on kind of as it comes, but then maybe add some extra texture in. So, because I really quite like the way this looks just as it is. I want some of the orange in there as well. So let's just keep this really simple, more or less put it on as it comes. I'm going to spread it out a bit, make it go a little bit further. It's amazing how far this stuff goes. get it all roughly tacked on first and then start refining the shape. You've got to remember to keep picking it up, otherwise I'll felt it into the mat underneath. I've done that so many times. I always forget which colour is the coarser needle. I think that's probably a coarser one. That'll just get me started a bit quicker. It's always surprisingly fast as well, I always think, felting. I mean, you can take a long time refining things, certain kinds of projects, you know, you're going for realistic animals and things. But you can get some really fun results pretty quickly, and as I say, a little bit of the wool does go quite a long way. And if I can use this waste packaging as a base for things, that would be marvellous. Seems to be working. I could cut 2 layers of it if I wanted as well, but wanted something a bit thicker. You could, you know, shape something into a 3-dimensional object by kind of stacks of it and then wrapping it in something to coat the shape, to round out the shape before you start felting the top coat on. I think it, yeah, I'm going to ask Tom to save this for me. I'm getting a heart shape pretty quickly there, and I've got dots all over it at the moment, but this is just the rough kind of tacking stage. And I think I'm going to back it with a piece of actual felt that I can just stitch on afterwards, so I don't need all of this here. Let's just take that off. I don't actually like cutting off the edges, but actually in this situation it would be okay to do that. Keep the lines going sort of in the same direction. I don't want that one going off that way. I can just tuck those. There we go. Pretty. It's no effort at all, because these beautiful rainbow tops just do all the work for you. Getting the shape was really easy because I just cut it out of that packaging. Shall I use this shorter bit here? I might as well. Didn't end up having time to explore all of the ideas I had for different hearts. I wanted to do some clay, I wanted to do some metal work, wire work, beading. I had all sorts of things I wanted to try, but I think for the next swap I think we'll do hearts again, because this has just been such a popular theme. I think we can definitely bear to do it again. And I think the idea that we could make it 3-dimensional if we wanted, or keep it flat, we could do stitching, but we could do whatever other crafts we enjoy as well. I think that was really liberating. I think many of us enjoyed exploring some different ideas. Oh, look, it's lovely vivid orange on the back here. Let's have a piece of that. Actually, no, I maybe don't like it right next to that. I'll put it here instead. So I'm gonna just carry on covering this with getting this kind of base coat on. And when I've done that and I'm ready to start adding some texture in, I'll be back. I really am aiming to keep this video quite short today, because it really is so hot in here, and I've got to, it gets quite hot sitting here doing the editing as well, because the computer has to work quite hard. This little fan is going, you can probably hear it in the background. That's not a fan on me, that's a fan keeping the computer cool. I've covered all of my heart. I've sort of tucked the edges over onto the back, because that'll all be covered by my piece of felt. It seems to be working really well. I'm very happy with that. I'm getting the odd bits coming out of the recycled packaging like that, but I can just pick them out, that's fine. And I've just going in with my multi-needle tool here. I've got 5 needles all at once just to speed this bit up. I don't know if it's because this was already more kind of felted on that back, you know, the difference between that surface and that surface. But for some reason it's not sticking to the mat as much as it does sometimes, so that's really nice as well. There you go. So that's my basic shape already done. I've really not been very long at all with that. And now all I'm going to do is take some of these pretty bits and add some texture and things. And then I can stitch around these and into them. I can add beads, I can add sequins. Yeah, I just quite like that. I'm not going to felt that down anymore. I'm going to leave that just as a kind of like a separate stripe. I like that. What other colours have we got here that I can use? I like this bit. I don't want to overstab that and lose the texture. Kind of not sure about that redness there. I don't want so much of that. Snip it away. Have it more orangey. You can always, if you don't like what you've done, if you don't, you know, if you haven't been felting it in for too long, you can just pull it off, start again. I don't think that's working, that bit. Let's find another bit. I think it was just too red. A bit of rainbow there. Quite like this purple. Oh, look at that. Add that in there. I kind of feel like I want something down there. Let's find a bit of grey. Oh, look. About that. Might just leave that little curly bit just there like that. Just leave it curling. It's a nice way to use the odds and ends as well of these pretty tops and things. Tops being also I think called roving. It's a kind of smooth wool that you use basically as a top coat really when you're needle felting. You've got bats, which is the more sort of fluffy looking stuff, like that's bats where the fibres are going in all directions and felt together quite readily. Might put a bit of them in for a difference in texture compared to this, which is tops or roving, where you can see it's almost smoothed out, the fibres are all going one way. It's nice for using as a top coat, but it's more expensive, so you tend to use this to build up the shape and then this for the top coat. And for the very middle you use core wool, which is just plain kind of undyed, unbleached kind of wool, but or you use this. Very exciting. Might just use a tiny bit of this for a different bit of texture, just kind of feel that's probably enough really, because this is just a base to add some stitching and things to. So I'm going to leave that. Now I'm going to leave that little tendril there. I quite like the look of that, and that's it. I'm done with that one. So the next time you see this one, what I'm going to do is when they're all done, I'll come back and show them all before I send them out. So, but then I won't show that until about a month after the deadline, so it'll be the end of July before I show that and sort of wind up the swap really. So that's that one. Now I'm going to do a bit of a landscape with this one. So I'm going to take a bit of this white and some grey and some blue. I sort of mix myself up a kind of a sky colour. Start with some sky. I reckon that will work. Okay, spread that out over the top area of my heart. Get everything roughly tacked down first, like I did before. Just put a little film of grey over the top now to mute all that down a little bit. Let's just make sure I've got my edges covered. And now I'm going to tuck the edges all to the back, tack them down. think if a little bit of this natural colour of this waste packaging just show through, it's not going to matter in this particular instance. There we go. I can do some more finessing later, but that's more or less got the shape there, and kind of a sky colour. I can add in some wisps of clouds here, a bit more kind of definite white. Could just as well be sea, couldn't it? I don't care. It can be whatever it decides to be. I might stitch some birds into this. Now I'm thinking, let's have some green in the foreground. Brown as well. I think I might mix it together, this sort of flecky brown with some of the green, and create a sort of tree trunk in the foreground, but I don't know if there's really going to be space for that, so I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm going to get a base of this green down, and then add some of the texture pieces, and then think about whether or not I do want to put a tree in there. I might just leave it and add any further detail with my stitching. So I could add a little piece of fabric to this as well, or cut out some felt and felt it in. I feel like some darkness there would be a good thing. Do I do it in the form of a tree, or just make a little sort of irregular ball and make something that looks a bit like a rock or something, just for a bit of added interest. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's meant to be, but it's just something in it. It's just a bit of something there. And then I can take some of these pretty bits. Just have a little bit here that looks like it might be, maybe it's heather or something. A bit of this kind of purpley colour. I think that would be quite nice just to add in. And I can put French knots in and stuff as well to accentuate all of this. If it was the sea, I could add some more of that in, but I think I need to not go too nuts. We have a little sheep here. Little sheep grazing amongst the heather. Or maybe it's sitting down for a snooze by the look of it. Just got some little snippets there. I'm going to see if I can attach them in such a way that they might look like legs. And a little face. Oh, it's so hot in here, seriously. Seriously hot. I think that kind of says sheep. I think that's good enough. I can tidy up a little bit with my stitching. I'm feeling like I still want a bit more green over here. I'm not liking that rock so much now. So I'm going to add a bit here, make that a bit more subtle. And that. Amazing how quickly that has come together actually. Let's put a bit more grass around the sheep to hide his inadequacies. Her. I think it's a lady. I think that is all I want to do. The rest I will do with my stitching. But that's the basis of the landscape. I'm just now wondering if I should carry this on across there, but no, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it there. I'm sort of tempted to put a tree in here or something, but I think I'm just getting too fussy if I do that, so I'm going to leave it there and leave the rest for stitching. And the next time you see this, it will be part of my little parade of finished hearts, which I'll come back with at the end of July. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed watching that. Have you all been enjoying the heart swap? I think I've just seen some amazing creations, so much creativity, so much talent, so much love and care and work has gone into all of the hearts that I've seen shared in the Facebook group and Discord community. It's been amazing to see, and I've really enjoyed making the ones that I've made. I can't wait to come back and show you them all in one go, and I cannot wait to get them sent out to my Swapsters and hope that they like them. I will also, when I come back and show the ones I'm sending out, I'll also show all of the ones that I've had in all in one go. I have filmed them as I've gone along, but I'll just give a quick look at all of them all together. Then I need to start making my treasure chest to keep them all in. So as I say, I'll link to the Arty Farty Hearty Swap playlist, so you can catch up on that if you would like to. And if you haven't been able to join us for this one, maybe you'd like to join us for the next one. Start getting to know us now, and then you'll be all ready. Okay, thanks again for joining me today. I'm really going now. And I'll see you again really soon. Bye!